Hi dears, and welcome to another spooktacular witch review with your host, Ishwatsufuan. And tonight I am going to talk to you about another horror cult legendary movies without too much spoilers. As you know, that's my policy. And tonight I am going to talk about Alice, Sweet Alice. I actually got to hear about Alice, Sweet Alice quite recently from a good friend of mine, Belgium Solanas. She has very good taste in movies, usually. Either way, this movie is from the 1976 and was directed by Alfred So. Alice, Sweet Alice was first called Communion. And the first murder actually takes place when the two sweet daughters are having their first communion. But they didn't think that would work in America, so they changed it to Alice, Sweet Alice. And then they actually changed the name one more time into Holy Terror. But to me, Alice, Sweet Alice is probably the most suitable title for this horror flick.
Alice was too old to play with dolls and too young to make love.
The story is about Alice, who is a 12-year-old girl. And she has this little sister who gets all the attention in her nuclear family. Yes, their mother and father has broken up since a few years ago, which was, I guess, quite rare in the 1970s. And Alice is very much affected by her family situation and also very jealous of her little sister Emma, played by Brooke Shields, who after had a very successful career as a child prostitute in Pretty Baby. Alfred So, the director, actually found her through a Vogue ad. So she was a model as well. And they used her name, Brooke Shields, to promote the movie, even though she's only in it the first couple of minutes.
Brooke Shields in Holy Terror.
Alice is a bit distorted and she collects all of this creepy stuff. She has like bugs in jars. She has dolls with like distorted faces, really eerie. And she also has this clear mask which has makeup on it and also very red lips. And she actually seducts her sister in the beginning and scares her with a yellow raincoat on. And after that, the sister gets brutally murdered. She gets burned alive in the church while they're having the first communion. The first part of this movie is very camp. There's a lot of close-ups of people with really like scary faces, like ah! Very fun to watch. Despite all the blood and all the slaughter happening, you can also watch it because of all these crazy over-the-top drama moments. So the killer in this movie is also wearing a yellow raincoat and a clear mask, similar to the one Alice wore in the beginning of the movie to scare her sister to death. There's this really creepy scene, which is also one of my favorite scenes in this movie, when Alice is wearing two masks. So she's wearing this clear mask and under it she's wearing the mask of an old lady. So she takes off the first mask first and she reveals that she's wearing another mask underneath the mask. And that is so scary. That was actually one of the first time I got scared in a long time while watching a horror movie. A really good jump scare. And there's a lot of good jump scares in this movie. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you should definitely check it out. Fun fact about Paula Shepherd is that she is actually 19 or 18 years old while portraying this 12-year-old girl. and she does it very well. She's the main lead, she's playing Alice, and I would never have figured out or guessed in my mind that she was actually a grown-up. So she does a very convincing job playing this 12-year-old girl. We also have a very good acting by the mother of the movie, Catherine. She's played by Linda Miller, and she does a very good, she adds some beauty and some glamour and of course some screams. So at first the movie was called Communion, right? And that is because there's a lot of Catholic religious images and rituals throughout the movie. That is a heavy theme, and they criticize, I guess they criticize the Catholic points of views and their rites and the ceremonies in this movie, and that's also why the movie got banned or cut when it first was released. So another quite disturbing fact or myth about this movie is that Linda Miller, who played the mother, also tried to slit her wrist in the middle of the shooting. Fortunately, she didn't manage to commit suicide, but Alfred Soule had a really hard time getting her back on set. But just after 2-3 weeks, she was back and finished the movie. And in some of the scenes, you can actually see that she's wearing bandage around her wrist in some sequences. That is all I had to say about Alice Sweet Alice. Let me know what you think of the movie, and the whole movie is actually on YouTube if they haven't taken it down. So search for Alice Sweet Alice if you want to watch the movie. And make sure you get the right version, because there's also a cut version, of course. The uncut version is very bloody and very fun. You're gonna like it. That's all from me. Stay smooth.